Okay, well, we finally have gotten to the last lesson in Chapter 9. We are doing Chapter 9, Lesson 9, and we are multiplying fractions by whole numbers. Okay? Actually, don't get nervous. It's actually pretty easy, okay, once you get the hang of it. So, we can use models and equations to multiply a fraction by a whole number. We can use both of them. All right, so let's look at example 1. Each card on a trivia game has 6 questions. Each question represents 1/6 of the questions on the card. Because if there's 6 questions, if we broke that down, each question is 1 out of 6. Caleb correctly answered 4 of the questions. What fraction of the questions on a card did he answer correctly? Well, we know there's 6. Each one represents 1/6, and we know that Caleb answered 4 correctly. That's the information we know. And they want to know, well, they want to know how many he answered correctly. So we have to find 4 times 1/6. Okay? One way we could do this is using repeated addition. So we could do it like this. 4 times 1/6 equals 4 1/6. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I added those together, I'd be adding like fractions. I would get 4/6, but remember, we always want to simplify. And I know these both can be divided by 2. So now I have 2/3. So here we have 2/3. Okay, so 4 times 1/6 then equals 2/3. Okay, now let's look how they did it over here. We used models, okay, and a number line. The number line shows the first 4 multiples of 1/6. So if we look up here, we have 1 times 1/6, which is 1/6. 2 times 1/6 is 2/6. 3 times 1/6 is 3/6. And 4 times 1/6 is 4/6. Okay? Same things. Right there. And we always simplify it still to 2/3. And we can use our fraction tiles to check. Use fraction tiles. 4 times 1/6, so I have 4 times 1/6 is equal to 4/6, or simplified is 2/3, and we know that they're just equivalent because they're the same. Okay, let's look at example 2. Now this one is a little confusing. They make it pretty confusing, but I'm going to go through it with you, okay? Example 2. Find 5 times 3/10. Identify the 2 whole numbers between which the product lies, okay? It's easy peasy, and we do that at the very end. So first we have to multiply this 5 times 3/10. And we're going to think of this 3/10 as, think of 3/10 as a multiple of 1/2, a unit, 1/10, 1 unit. So I'm going to go 5 times 3/10, and we've broken our fractions down before. So I'm going to go 5 times, I'm going to use the associative property here, so we're going to put those parentheses there. It's the same as 3 times 1/10. Okay, we're just turning this 3/10 into 3 times 1/10. If we did the addition, it would be 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1/10. But right now we're doing the associative property. We're not doing repeated addition. Then, so here's the associative property. Then I'm going to switch it, and I'm going to group my whole numbers, and I'm going to go 5 times 3 is, go down here, is 15, and I'm going to bring this 1/10 here, 1/10. Now I'm going to multiply the 5 times 3, and I got 15. I already told you that, times 1/10. We just bring that down. Then we're just going to say, well, 15 is 15 groups of 1/10. If I wrote this out as repeated addition, it would be 1/10 plus 1/10 until we have 15 of them. And it's the same as 15. It's 15 groups of 1/10, which is equal to 15/10, which is an equivalent fraction and improper, so we have to turn that back into a mixed number. Remember, we don't leave it here. So I'm going to do 15 divided into groups of 10 equals 1 and 5/10. Okay, so that's now the mixed number. And we always have to simplify it, and I can simplify 5/10 by dividing both of these numbers by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So now I have 1 and 1/2. So 5 times 3/10 is 1 and 1/2. Now we're going to go back to the question they asked us here. Identify the two whole numbers between which the product lies. Well, we're at 1 and 1/2. If I had a number line here, and I had 1 here, that would be here, and I had, say, a 2 here, where does 1 and 1/2 lie? Well, 1 and, here's the halfway mark. So it lies between 1 and 2. Okay? And they want us to look at the product before it was simplified, remember, as an improper fraction. And so I have 15 over 10 right here. And if we look at this, the numerator of the product is the same as the product of a whole number and the numerator of the fraction 5 times 3 equals 15. The denominator of the product is same as the denominator of the fraction. Okay, so go ahead and look to your teacher. They might show you a bit of a less wordy way to do it, but I'm going to leave that up to them.